Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Bourbon Basement. I'm Ryan,
And I'm Steve.
and I predict this is going to be an unpleasant episode for us, but
Oh,
I feel like this is going to be information that you all think would be interesting to know.
this was suggested by a viewer.
Well, I don't like you. Uh,
Do you think that? Do you think they did it just to see us do this,
Probably.
or do you think they really want this information?
See, this information I think will be very useful for the new bourbon drinkers out there that are wanting to get into an actual bourbon but doesn't want to break the bank like we have done here in the Bourbon Basement. Every one of these bottles is under $10. There's not one that's $10.01. These are all under $10 at Walmart.
I picked all these up at Walmart. The lowest I go on bottom shelf is usually
$40,
no,
35.
no. I've gotten some, $20 bottles before, and that's fine. But I've never went down to. I think this one was $8.88 or something like that. These were all at Walmart, guys. So they may be cheaper somewhere else. They may be more expensive somewhere else. But I just went to Walmart just for this episode, and I bought I bought all the $10 and under bourbons that they had. Now there was a bourbon there that was $10.49. Guess what? It's going to be on.
Buy it.
It's going to be on the next episode in the $10.01 to $15 bourbon.
So long story short, we're going to make this a series here on the Bourbon Basement. I don't know how often we'll be doing it.
And probably just go up to $25.
Yeah, because once you get past that, you're getting into the name brand stuff like Maker's Mark and stuff like that. Stuff that you've probably heard of. Disclosure, these are probably... We are drinking them straight.
Yes.
But these are probably going to be mixers. I don't foresee these being enjoyable to the palate to drink straight all the time.
Well, what the question was is what is the best $10 and under bourbon that you can buy for the taste?
And that is going to be the answer that we give you all. But
these are the only four that Walmart had. You may go to Total Wine. They may have more bottles, different bottles. But this was, I'm closest to Walmart. This was what I got. This is all they had. And so these are the ones we're going to try. Well, you want to tell them about them, and we'll start trying them. And we're going to grade these.
I'm going to try not to be too hard on them because I have been very spoiled in my bourbon palate since starting the Bourbon Basement. But some people drink these regularly. This is some people's bourbon of choice. I've never met someone like that, but I'm sure there are people out there. And I'm going to try to judge them not so strictly based on what I've tried, but what they are for their price.
Yes. We know they're all under $10.
Yeah, we
want to know which one of these four is the best. That's kind of all we're doing. And we are going to grade these according to like a regular tasting. But what we're doing is just comparing which one of these that I think and that he thinks you should spend your money on. Because they're all basically the same price.
I'm going to go on and say that I don't recommend drinking any of these straight.
You don't know that. You may find one you love.
That's wishful thinking.
Anyway.
The only one of these that I have had is Gentleman. I have had Kentucky Gentleman.
You've never had Ancient Age?
No. I've only had Kentucky Gentleman out of these. It makes a fantastic bourbon and conch. I don't know if I've ever had it straight. But one thing that gives me hope is you do see some vodka bottles and stuff that are plastic. These are all glass.
They are glass.
They are glass bottles.
Not a single cork.
There's not a single cork. They're all screw tops. But, I'm not even going to hold that against it because Weller 12 up here on the shelf has a screw top.
But you will know...
Put a cork in it, Buffalo Trace.
You'll know the distillers on this, though. And that's something that maybe some of this stuff is the same mash bill that you're getting with these older ones. These are probably just younger bourbons.
At least 2 years.
Well, no. They say bourbon whiskey. They don't say straight.
Bourbon.
Oh, this one is a Kentucky straight. So it's at least 2 years old. This one just is a bourbon whiskey, so it may not be 2 years old. This just says special reserve.
Oh, I lied. I've had Tavern too.
And this is a straight, so this one's at least 2 years old. But I'll tell them about these two bottles. You tell them about this one. All right, so this is Kentucky Gentleman, and
if you're from Kentucky, you've heard of this bourbon.
This is Kentucky Gentleman. It's probably the one you get at bars with most of your mixers. If you don't specify bourbon, Kentucky Gentleman is the one they usually put in.
This is what they call their well. If you don't specify what you want as mixer of your bourbon, they'll put Kentucky Gentleman in.
Now this one is made by Barton Distillery. So I'm sure you've heard of Barton Distillery. And the funny thing that we figured out about all these is, you'll hear it here in a second, but this is Barton Distillery, and it says Barton in Louisville, Kentucky. All right. Then you go to Stedman's. Now, I had never even heard of Stedman's, but it is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. This one is 80 proof. This Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, it's distilled and aged at Barton 1792 Distillery.
Barton.
So, well, Barton 1792 is Barton Distillery, but this one is a different location. This one is Bardstown, Kentucky. So this one says Louisville, this one says Bardstown, but it's both Barton's Distillery. I like that they put the 1792 on this. It makes me think that maybe this is something that you might recognize as something else. So you can tell them about the last two.
I don't think there's much to tell.
There is.
So we got Kentucky Tavern here. Just
this one, sorry, is 90 proof.
90 proof. So we got 80, 90, 80, 80, I think, if I remember correctly. So these are all lower proofage. So this is Special Reserve, Bourbon Whiskey with National Flavors, bottled by Glenmore Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. First produced in the 1900s, this legendary Kentucky Tavern brand was created by whiskey pioneer James Thompson, who founded the famous Glenmore Distillery in Owensboro, Kentucky.
So, I Googled this, and it's also Barton.
Barton.
So they say Glenmore Distillery, but it's Barton. Is where that's distilled in Bardstown, Kentucky. So both of these, they may be exactly the same, except for the proofage.
I'm getting some mixed signals from this name. We got Ancient Age, but the bold letters are AA. I don't know if they're trying to tell us something. It's like, hey, you're buying a $10 bottle of bourbon. We're really down bad, guys. So carefully distilled along the banks of Kentucky River according to the finest old traditions.
I feel like you're knocking these $10 bourbons.
I'm trying not to.
And if all you want is a bourbon and Coke, these are probably great with you.
Oh, they're great. My mic's falling, but I'm not going to touch it. I'm sure it's fine.
So, curious thing about Ancient Age, do you know who owns them?
Buffalo Trace, isn't it?
It's Sazerac Company, and Sazerac is the same as we just did our show on them, Barton's. And they're both distilled at Buffalo Trace. So this says Ancient Age Distillery, but guess what? It's Buffalo Trace. So that's
we
made
do have
at
a Buffalo Trace product in a sense.
And another one of these, I think this one is owned by Sazerac too, but it's distilled at Barton. I can't explain them.
I'm confused.
We're just reading that, and then I Googled it just to have a little bit. Let's get into tasting these, because I know that you all just want to know which one of these that you should buy if you got $9 and you're looking to buy one.
Either that, or whoever suggested it just wants us going through the pain of drinking these straight.
I wasn't looking forward to this episode. That's why it's not a live episode. That's why it's just on our videos. Hopefully we can edit this and get it to about 30 minutes or less.
We'll do something.
All right.
I'll make it a little more enjoyable to watch.
Let's get this going on.
Okay. So
maybe you can put some little pop-up things on there. Hold on. Here's French cork crack. Ooh.
These are going to be cracks and not pops. We just need the snap. Snap, crackle, pop.
All right. Where's your first one?
Whichever one you want to put it in. Now, I'm just going to be biased. I think this one's going to be my favorite one.
Well, don't try to be biased. That's why we're trying to let people know. I should have done it blind if you're going to be biased.
No, I'm not going to be biased. I'm really going to try not to be too hard on these guys, because I have been very spoiled in my bourbon ventures.
Well, I liked it. It's sweet.
I mean, it's got tears.
It's kind of light. I'm sure they're all going to be light, but I like the way it looks in the bottle. It looks a lot darker in the bottle.
One thing I will say, the alcohol comes out a lot more on the nose than a more aged bourbon does.
But I get
sweetness. I'm getting a little bit of.
Okay.
I don't know what kind of sweetness, but it's not all. I guess it's not all alcohol.
So aroma and appearance, I've already got.
Yeah, we got a little sheet down here. We're going to be rating the appearance, aroma, flavor, and finish of these.
I'm going for my first. 80 proof. Not much acclimation needed.
No, and I don't think we really even need an acclimation.
Well, I mean, we got to do it right. We're going to try to do this unbiased to the point where we are giving an honest opinion on which one of these four we think is the best. And when we get to that $10.01 to $15, I may throw the $10 bottle we thought was the best into that to see if it can compare to the $15 bottle.
I'm not getting a whole lot out of it.
I don't either. If I had to pick something out of it with that candied flavor, I kind of get a candied apple.
I'm getting a little bit of caramel and stuff, but I mean that's about.
I didn't get much caramel. I got kind of a citrusy, appley, and maybe some, almost like a candied apple, like the red candied apple at the fair, at the carnival.
If you get those over a caramel apple, I think you're a weirdo.
Oh, you're awful judgmental today. All right. And the finish.
I mean, it was fairly smooth, but it is only 80 proof.
I think they're all probably going to be smooth. I mean, you could probably drink this straight from the bottle.
I will tell you all right now, Kentucky Gentleman does make a very good mixer for a bourbon and coke. I have had my fair share of KG.
The finish ain't hot, and the finish is thin. I don't grab more taste out of it or nothing like that.
I don't know. This is going to be an interesting one, guys.
All right. So we're going to Stedman. It's a 90 proof Kentucky bourbon whiskey, distilled and aged in Barton 1792 distillery. Here's a fresh crack. Uh-oh. Whoa, that was a good one.
This one had metal caps. Are we rating cracks too?
No.
That one's got the best one
you
yet.
can do whatever you want. It doesn't matter.
Not the same color, honestly.
I'd say the color.
These are lighter than those two.
Well, I did like the way this one looks in the bottle the best.
That's the dark.
So if they all look the same in the glass, this one's probably going to win appearance, just because I like a darker bourbon.
I don't think you're going to get much darker with $10 than these. Just putting that out there.
Really hard on the $10. I hope one of these just goes. That's amazing.
I'm not gonna hold my breath. I mean, they've got tears. They're not the thickest tears ever, but they do have tears.
I can see that one. That's a nice one.
Got a very similar smell to KG.
No, not for me. Not for me. That was candy.
This is a little more fruity, but
this is fruit. That was candy, and this is fruit to me. I like the aroma of this one better. Like you said, in the glass, it's probably about the same.
The higher proof, it might have less burn than KG did.
It was smoother. Go into the second one.
That one's decent. I mean, I'm still not pulling out a whole lot of flavors from it. These are simple, guys. You want simple, these are simple.
Okay. Now, we've been really hard on under $10 bourbons, right? We've drank over $100 bourbons, and you would think that there's just a big difference, and there is. But
if you're searching for
it, if you poured me this, I could drink it neat if I wanted.
I mean, this is fine.
I could drink it just like this.
There's nothing special about it, but it's fine.
It's not complicated. There's not a whole lot of flavors to pull out. There's not a whole lot of burn, but it's just a sipper. If I'm just sitting there trying to feel good for the evening and shoot the bull, these are fine, and they're very affordable.
This is as affordable as it gets, folks. That one's not bad for what it is, guys. I mean, honestly.
No. What kind are you pulling out any special flavors on that?
No, and like I said before, these are simple bourbons. I don't think you're going to be able to pull out a whole lot. Like, these are not depthful in their taste.
No.
And on the palate, you might be able to pull out some crazy stuff. I don't know how your palate is. Everyone's different, but I'm not pulling out anything really specific. I was pulling out more in the nose than I am on mine.
Well, I got more fruity with the nose.
I did as well.
I kind of stuck with the apple. I don't know if this is going to be a thing with the other bourbons, but I kind of stuck with the apple. But with this one, I got a little bit more of the barrel, and I don't know if that's because it's 90 proof or not, but I got a little bit more out of the barrel. So I kind of like that woodsy wood in there. The oak.
And I am getting the barrel out of these as well, but not just not what you would get with a more expensive bourbon.
The finish was weaker than the last one. If you're looking for something to hang on your tongue and stay with you for a while so you know you drank something, that finish is not there on that. It goes away really quick.
But
This one stayed a little bit longer.
If you're spending $10 on a bourbon, guys, you're not really expecting a whole lot. Like, you gotta get what you pay for, up to a certain point. Some of them, I mean, there are some bourbons out there that are just outrageously overpriced. These are not in that category.
Well, I'm thinking even of a mixer. I like Coke. All right.
Yeah.
Well, when I mix makers with Coke, I can taste the makers in there.
I'm telling you, that's a sin around here.
Well, I think Coke is gonna overpower both of these bourbons that I put in it so far.
So usually when you're getting these as a mixer for a bourbon and Coke, you don't really care what the bourbon itself tastes like, because you're usually just
want to feel a little
you
buzz.
just want to feel a buzz while tasting Coke. And I think both of those would be great for it. They're
would,
not
'cause they will
overpowering.
get
They're
lost.
very mild.
All right, you want to
so
do the pork crack?
Let's
Or
do Tavern now.
All right, so this is the Kentucky Bourbon, 80 proof. Another one by Barton. I didn't do that on purpose. I swear I just grabbed the under $10 bottles. I just grabbed the under $10 bottles, so I didn't do distilleries on purpose or whatever.
They all look about the same in the glass.
Yeah, and this one, I don't like the look of it in the bottle. Like I said, these two are darker to me, and I like that look a little bit better.
This one might be a little thicker. The tears are taking a little longer to develop. That smells like butterscotch a little bit.
I get that too, just a hair. I really don't have a strong nose on any of them. And it's funny that this one probably does have the best tears that we
It
have,
was a little thicker.
but it tastes like water. I don't get hardly any flavors out of this at all. I get a little bit of black pepper, and that's about it. And it's not even that strong.
I was about to say, not to say that this is spicy by any means, guys. None of these are spicy. These are very, very, very mild. Especially compared to some of the stuff that we've had in the past.
That one tastes so much like water. I would be
Let me compare.
willing to bet that I could take that bottle and almost guzzle the whole thing and never stop. But I'm not going to.
See, you could, but I don't think you're going to like the outcome of it.
No. But I mean, it's just, there wasn't a whole lot of flavor. There wasn't a whole lot of anything with that one. That one's probably my least disappointing one so far.
And
But it did have a good aroma.
It didn't have as strong of an alcohol taste or smell as the other two that I don't think. So I think I'm ranking that one higher on finish.
Really?
The alcohol, even on the nose, was not as strong as the other two. So these are buzz feelers, is what I'm saying that we're ranking these. And I think if you're just wanting a buzz feeler, guys, that one could be dangerous.
Maybe. Well, are you going to give it your...
Yeah, I'll give it my thing.
Give it your things and let's see what we get.
Yeah. So that was Tavern, guys. And now we got the AA. I still don't know what they're
I'm excited about the AA.
trying to say about this one. I cheated.
You smell it like that.
Oh, whoa.
Not good? Oh, I didn't try this out. Hold on a second. Must have a lot of alcohol burn on it.
Took a trip to the racetrack, guys.
Racing fuel.
No, I think you'll know what I'm talking about. Took a trip to the racetrack. If it's not race fuel, are y'all picking up what I'm throwing down yet?
Bathroom?
I smell burnt rubber, guys. This is why it's called AA. This is how they get people to stop drinking. It's also another thicker one.
Mine doesn't smell that
Takes-
good. It reminds me
It's
of the...
bitter in the glass, but out of the bottle, guys, I smell burnt rubber. Like, just straight up. Someone just did a burnout here in the Bourbon Basement.
I actually get a little bit of the caramel notes in that.
It's a little caramely. It's a little sweet. It's still simple. There's not a whole lot of depth to it.
I can smell the oak. That's the first one
I can smell the oak in my shoe now.
I need to quit shaking it up.
I thought that you were getting up there a little bit toward the brim of the glass.
I was trying to get some good tears out of this.
It's a good thing. See, look, if that was an expensive bottle, that's $15 right there. It was barely a sip.
You took the whole thing.
1 ounce.
It's not an ounce. It's about Not even a half an ounce. It's about a quarter ounce pour.
That's how we should be taking these. These are $10 bourbons. These are shooters.
Okay. Well, we ought to go back and shoot them then and taste them again.
I think it made it taste better. It's very sweet on the finish, guys. Another one of those, of course, there's no burn to it, so it's very smooth. Mapley, maybe, is what I'm pulling out here.
Doesn't remind me of Blanton's.
I'd say not. That one's not bad, though. I mean, I thought that I was going to be really hard on these. None of these have been bad, in my opinion. Not for what they are.
I'm just going to straight up say that's my favorite flavor.
It was decent.
That's my favorite flavor of the three, but we are...
Okay, we're losing him, folks. We're spilling bourbons. We're dropping cans. Coordination is out the window.
I didn't think the finish was long. Although...
These are all very short finishes. Nothing really lingers with you.
Although with that one, as I'm sitting here talking, I can still feel that on my tongue. I may have to raise it.
I took a drink of water, so I guess I kind of butchered that. I'm just going to say why I'm giving my rankings, guys. For what they are, which is $10 bourbons, nothing special. These are not high dollar by any means. They are known to be bottom shelf as they get as far as bourbon goes.
And that's what they're designed for.
This is exactly what they're for. And I think for what they are for, all of these are very tolerable.
Yes. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I did not have a grueling face or anything. I did not dislike drinking any of these. These are ones that you buy. Like I said, some people buy them out of enjoyment. Some people buy them just to get a buzz on, just to mix it with your bourbon and cokes. And I think that all of these would be good for the mixing. It depends on your palate whether or not you want to drink these neat like a regular or a higher dollar bourbon.
Well, I'm pleasantly surprised because I was not looking forward to this at all.
I am also pleasantly surprised.
I thought that I was going to have to be... That's why I poured such little pours, is because I didn't want to have to not finish one. You know, so I didn't... We could do it like the other whiskey guy. You'll put it in the cup and you throw it out. But,
that is the wrong accent.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not good at accents. But anyway, all of these, very tolerable, very smooth, low proof, so you didn't have to worry about burn or bite. And,
these are very beginner friendly all around, price and finish.
These are made to be inexpensive. And they do that by having the low proof and putting a lot of bottles out. And it's very affordable and you can find them anywhere. And so we've got the scores added up and we actually have a tie. So our tie is between 2 and 4. So Stedman's and Ancient Age. So we'll pour another little bit of that. And we'll taste them side by side. I'm going to pour them both at the same time.
Funny story, guys. Unintentionally, and all the stars were on different aspects of each bourbon. I gave them all the exact same score except for one. And it was this one that actually won for me, but it was just because of the finish, because I said it could be dangerous as a mixer or a straight drinker because it was like water.
Your Stedman's is going to be the furthest away. I'm going to put the Ancient Age closest. And then you can taste them side by side, maybe with just a little bit of water in the middle of them. We're going to try to get the best. And then I'm going to explain the scores once we're done with these. All
right, so
Stedman's over there. I'll start with Stedman's too then. All right.
Was that a bigger pour because it tasted different?
It was a bigger pour, and I shot it. And you did too, and I think last time you sipped it as well.
Tasted different.
The shot does taste different, and it was actually more pleasant.
I think we got floral notes the first time.
I got a floral nose the first time, but I got kind of that candied apple note again. But this time I got more floral.
I felt better about it the first time.
Really? Because I liked it this time better. But you and I are usually opposite. We are, aren't we?
Sometimes. Our noses have been pretty spot on.
Well, I will say that this one was Ryan's highest score. And my lowest score, that's probably why it wasn't in the...
I ranked it higher on the finish because I said it could be dangerous.
All right, let's go Ancient Age and compare these.
Alcohol's Anonymous.
2 votes. Are you done comparing? Do you have a winner?
I think so, but it's close.
Okay, let's just let's write down a number, 1 to 5.
I've got my number.
Okay. Well, I just didn't want you to be influenced. I picked Ancient Age to win. Did you pick Stedman's or Ancient Age?
Oh, wait, what happened to the numbers?
Well, I was just gonna say the number. If you go with Ancient Age, the number's useless.
I thought we were gonna say. All right. Never mind.
What do you got?
I think AA was the better one.
So you had so we both chose Ancient Age as the best one. So Ancient Age. For the money, if you have $10 and you're going to the liquor store and you go to Walmart, because that's where I got these, and you go to the bottom shelf and you see anything there, if you see the Ancient Age, that's the one we think is the best. Now, if you want to know how much we think it's the best, it actually tied with Stedman's, but then we did a side by side and said it was better, right? Well, it was only half a point better than the other two. This one.
Like I said, I unintentionally ranked them all the exact same.
It was only half a point better than this one and only 1 point better than this one. So these are all very close. So if you go to Walmart, Ancient Age ain't available, grab Stedman's. If Stedman's ain't available, grab Kentucky Tavern. If it ain't available, grab Kentucky Gentleman, because they're very similar.
I don't think that you can really go wrong, because you're going into it with the mindset, hey, I'm buying a $10 bourbon. I don't think you're really going to be let down that much.
But if you're going to ever drink it neat or shoot it, I think Ancient Age is the best way.
Ancient Age is probably your best one. And then, like I said, all of them other than this one initially ranked the exact same. So, I mean,
that was actually fun for me.
A $10 bourbon is a $10 bourbon in my eyes, guys. So I don't think you can really go wrong.
I enjoyed that episode very much. I didn't think I would, and so it seems to be.
I have enjoyed other episodes more, but it was more enjoyable than what I thought it was going to be.
Yes, I was kind of dreading it, but I wanted to do it because if you all ask for something, we're going to do our best to provide.
So thank you to whoever suggested that. Hopefully we gave you a little bit of useful information.
And we will keep this series going, right?
Yep, we will at least go up until $30
or 20,
25 maybe.
Yeah, $20 to $25. Because if we get to 25 and there's 50 bottles that are good, I'm probably not going to do that.
There's a lot of $25.
But you think about this one, there was only 4 bottles. So I'm thinking $10.01 to $15 next.
This is not the only $10 bourbons out there, guys. These are just the ones that Walmart had. So it should be an interesting little series. Hopefully you all enjoyed that. I know that some of you all clicking on this video are probably hoping that we'll pick one out or have some cringy faces or something along those lines. So sorry to disappoint, but I'm not disappointed with the outcome.
I'm not either.
For $10 bourbons, guys, I don't think you can really go wrong with these, because you are, like I said, you already have it in your mind that you're buying a bottom shelf $10 bourbon. I don't think you're really going to be let down that much. These are all pretty even around the spectrum.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised.
We were drinking them neat, and I think this one is the better one neat, but I think they would all be a very good mixer if that's all you're looking for. So hopefully y'all did go on to enjoy. If you all want to see more of this series, if you'd like to see us do the different price stages and do the same thing that we did here, comparing, let us know in the comment section. Let us know which one of these, if you've had any of these that you like best. If you have any other suggestions that you'd like to see on our live stream, being any bourbon, as long as it's a Kentucky bourbon, please leave it down in the comment section if you'd like to see any of those. What?
Sorry, that's the other thing I wanted to clarify. These are all the $10, less than $10 Kentucky bourbons.
You all should know by now, unless you're just now tuning in, we only do Kentucky bourbons in the. It is Kentucky bourbon strictly. So, if you have any Kentucky bourbon suggestions to do that you'd like to see us do live on Friday nights when we do our live stream, please leave those down below as well. Make sure you follow us on our social medias, being TikTok, Facebook, and we do post YouTube shorts as well as these videos, and we are live every Friday. We would love if you all would stop by, show us a little bit of love, drop some comments on some of our episodes if you have any suggestions for anything, and appreciate you all giving us a little bit of time out of your day. I will see you all, or we will see you all Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we are doing our live stream.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Subscribe, like, and share. Spread the Bourbon Basement name around all your friends.
No spaces.
All that being said, guys, why drink alone
when you can drink with us?
We will see you all Friday at 6 p.m.
See ya.